Yes, Martina.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm very good. I want to check, first of all, the volume,
Oh, it's
and then
perfect.
also say that I'm having a internet. Um, it's not a strong internet, so I'm
Oh, I
hoping
see.
that. Okay.
Oh, this is good. Right now it's good. The audio,
Uh,
video both are good, so it's fine.
okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate very much the first conversation. The exact thing happened to me yesterday, and the friendship went. Whew.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like when we really commit, our minds really commit to this process, then the old relationships are going to shift and change. And some change with me and others have not. So this is one of those where I too was thinking I had something to share with my friend who needed it.
Yes.
Oh, the lessons are so humbling because I know that all the love and information that I was giving her was good. There was nothing like critical or anything. It's just like my heart was just going like this, and it was like, whoa, she's going, no, too much. Slow it down. um, so that part of that conversation is really deeply important to get underneath the ego mind that I believed that we believe this and taught this and conditioned to do that. Um, this is also part of this last video that you put out about the last desire,
Yes.
and I'm actually getting even a little bit. I want to even speak about it. Um, the last desire I have, or maybe I should say had, I'm not sure. The last desire is to know. And so I've gone to the teachers and the gurus and the books and searched on the internet for people speaking about this last desire. But nobody's speaking. Oh, I shouldn't say nobody. There's one person that I've met, you, that's speaking about the last desire. Because if it's the last desire, then there's no need for all of the podcasts and all the internet people speaking about how to get there. There's no there. So how do you sell if you're here already?
That's the thing. That's the thing. You don't sell. You don't sell.
So by some grace, you are bringing the in my personal experience, in my own personal conditioning, you're bringing in this most valuable understanding that there really isn't anything to understand. I mean, um, but where I'm where I feel now is that I am very nervous about this. My consciousness is very nervous because it feels like I'm getting close to something. Does that make sense? Like
Mm.
there's this thin veil, and if I just do this, I'm gone. I mean, and what I'm clinging to is my master. And you said months ago, I think, something that disturbed me then was when master disappears, something like that. There's a when we drop, when I drop, when the mind drops the clinging. See, I can't even hardly say it. If I drop the clinging to my master, that's the last. Feels like last. I can't drop the clinging to the master. And because of what you're sharing, it's okay. So the resistance to that is starting to ease up as well.
Exactly.
And then there are these moments where it's just all like the burden is lifted. And I know that, and I do want to report this, that I started here with you in February in such emotional destruction because of my brother in his situation that is in constant pain and suffering and relies on morphine. He's very bright and intelligent and people don't listen to him and he has found the universe and or God or he's he knows it. I watched it happen. It's such an honor. But boy, the testing was brutal since February.
Yes.
And it really was this gift, even though there's no change in him. It's still the same, but the change is in me because because I don't have to think I can do anything.
Yes.
I can just be with him.
Yes.
And in the being, it makes no sense to the mind whatsoever that I can be in such joy with him
Yes.
and he's still in his pain and suffering. To me, that's an amazing miracle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the
And
miracle. That is the miracle. That is the true miracle. The being, the spaciousness, the recognition of vastness, because
yeah,
that never leaves you. The essence, your brother's essence, is there, it's here, it's everywhere. It doesn't
yeah,
leave. Even our loved ones, when they depart, they leave that essence, their easiness, their amness never goes anywhere. That is the most beautiful thing. And it is the most humbling thing also, because when they are here in form, we get identified with the attributes of the form, and then there are clashes. And then there is this whole story, I didn't speak to you for this long, and then
yes,
but when you reach that stage, and when you see the beingness, there is just this understanding, and there is this immense joy without any worry about if the form is going to be there or not. The joy, the bliss of being is always here. That is the understanding, and that remains with you. Its fragrance is always here. So that is the thing. Yeah. Thank you, Martina. That was beautiful sharing.
thank you. I do want to say one thing that here in the West now we're on our time has changed, and so it's actually 7. I mean, when we began, it's actually 7 here on the West Coast, not 8.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay.
and maybe because there's fewer people today that they got caught in that time change.
Oh, all right. I think I made
Yeah.
a mistake. I should have checked that. I always get confused, and somebody always tells me,
Yes, we're always confused.
no, 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 the time has to be different.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's insanity actually that they do that with the clocks. But yeah, anyway,
Okay. All right. So that's
how
okay.
beautiful
I think
sharing with okay.
thank you so much. So my heartfelt apologies to all for for miscommunicating the time. I'm going to stay here for a little while for those who would like to sit and talk, and any of you who would like to leave who came early, please feel free to do so. And I'm going to stay put for some time because if there are questions, I'm going to stay. If there are no questions, then I'm going to leave. All right. So I got to make up for the mistake. That I did not do. That happened. But the consequences are going to happen. And the consequences are that I'm going to stay 1 more hour.
Mm.
All right. Okay. Anybody else would like to ask anything? Sarthak, your hand is up. Do you want to ask? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Martina, your hand is also up. Would you like to ask something or okay, all right. I'll just mute you. I was having a discussion with Sarthak, who's here, a couple of, I think about 1.5 hour back. And we were talking about spirituality and how this word has become so loaded. So the context was that I was in Rishikesh, which is a well known spiritual city in India, and has the river Ganga flowing, which is the holy river. It's a beautiful sight, beautiful city, beautiful scenery. But the city is full of chaos. It is full of chaos. The roads are dirty. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of traffic. However, the flow of the river, the sight makes you forget all of that. And the city is also known for tourists, foreigner, basically Western tourists. They come for yoga, Ayurveda, and different other practices and modalities. And I met a group of young people, and when I was talking to Sarthak, we were talking about how they were putting these labels in front of their names as the Acharya, a 22-year-old Acharya, and which was very innocent, yogi, yogini, based on what they learned. And Our experience was that it took us, it took me at least 5, 6 years to utter a word, single word. And that too, not of the teaching, just my own state, state of mind when I was doing this exploration. And even today, I refrain from calling myself a teacher, forget the word healer, or even to call myself teacher. Now, sometimes there is no other way to communicate, so we write those things. But I still communicate and I say that I'm sharing my concepts, stories. Now, when I saw these young people, as I mentioned earlier, I saw a spark of innocence where they were playing with concepts, and some were very rigid about them. Oh, it has to be this way, it has to be that way. And I was quiet, listening and enjoying my coffee. But I could see that there was purity in their talk, in whatever they were trying to communicate. Purity and innocence, because it was majorly focused on the body, fitness, body, control, mind. And when we are young, we get fascinated by these ideas of control. The subject of body fitness is also very relevant at that age. But as we age, we start seeing the frailty of body and also the idea of control. How much can you really control? So at some point, we start questioning what exactly is in my control? Is there something in my control? There comes a stage when the seeker believes that, okay, it's difficult to control everything in life, but there is something here and there that I can do. Again, it depends on the environment. It depends on the forces of nature that are acting. As we age further, we start to recognize that actually there's a lot less that we can control. Ramana Maharishi would say, you cannot even lift a finger if it's not the will of the universe. Even that is not in your control, because even lifting a finger, while it looks simple, there are so many muscles and tendons which are acting on this simple activity. If any of this fails, even to lift this up is not possible. There are conditions which are making this possible. Even the thought, to use the finger as an example, is not your thought. Then we get into the ideas of breath control. And this is, again, very beneficial. It is very helpful. But even to control the breath, first there has to be awareness. Without that awareness, even to regulate breath is not possible. So, as these ideas about control, about the things, the relationships, when I say relationships, I'm talking about our relationship with our thought, with our thinking, ideas, also people. We try to hold everything tight. And as we hold, as we grip it tightly, there is tension, there is stress. So, with age, we lose the strength and we start releasing it. If the understanding happens, yes. If not, then psychologically we still hold them tightly. So, when we loosen the grip, we realize there's not much to do, there's not much to change other than to simply accept whatever is happening in the moment. So, all those ideas about the fitness, about improvement begins to change. Doesn't mean that we become callous and that we stop paying attention to our bodies or to our mind. No, we can still exercise, we can still do the practices. They're all beneficial. But they're not done with an objective in the mind. They're done because we enjoy them. And this was one aspect that I covered in my last video about enjoyment, enjoying the feelings and enjoying the sensations. For example, if yoga, which is one of the eight limbs, well, what we practice in the name of yoga is abhyasa, which is exercise, which is one of the eight limbs. But there's much more to the philosophy. There's yama, niyama, pranayam, abhyas, pratihar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. These are different links. I'm not going to get into them because uh, they are different subjects and I'm not an expert in any of them. So I won't talk much about them. But the whole idea is to move from the gross to the subtle. And if you notice, even on the path of energy, which I was discussing with these kids in Rishikesh, it is the same thing. The energy movement from bottom to top is from the gross to the subtle. So, in that spiritual concept, there are seven energy centers, starting with the root or the Mooladhara and ending at the top, Sahasrara or the crown. Now, again, that's a different topic of discussion, but the whole idea is same, moving from the dense to the light. So the whole concept is what is lighter than the being. So Maharaj or Bhagwan or any of these masters are saying if you recognize the being, that is it. Then all the other things can just happen. But when we are identified with an outcome, I must do the practices because I have to attain something, because I am not there yet. That is when I, that is when anxiousness happens. And sometimes when we are in a hurry, then we put labels on ourselves. Masters say just tap into that beingness, that lightness, which is beyond breath, which is the most intimate aspect of your existence because it never leaves you. Everyone can leave, but the amness is never going to leave you. It is your place of rest. It is home. And you were always here, you never left. But you find yourself in this game called separation, where you think you have to find a way home. So play the game. But when masters tell you, play the game knowing that you're always home, then there is a different quality to life and living. There's not much to change, there's not much to fix or improve. There are no ideas then to create the ideal human being because nature decides best. Someone once asked me, she said, if this is your thinking, then aren't you like a parasite that is just consuming the resources and not contributing anything to the society? And my response, which she didn't like actually, but my response was that, what have you really contributed to the society? And we were sitting in New Delhi, and I was saying, look at the pollution outside. And I said, the greatest contribution that the organism provides is the breath. The breath that you exhale is used by the plants. That is your only contribution. Rest, what you're doing is just destroying what was beautifully set up by nature. You've been just destroying it by putting your own ideas, all the grand ideas, and look where we are, in a bowl shaped city that right now, as we speak right now, it is in high pollution, unbreathable pollution, air pollution. So I told her that when somebody tells you that you are a parasite, they want something from you. They are basically trying to get something out of you. So my concept is, I'd rather be a parasite than be a slave to that thought system. Generally, those ideas come from the belief that I am valuable because of what I do. And what we do will never be good enough for the world, for anyone, even for our loved ones. Some may appreciate, some may not appreciate. But your being is of the highest value without doing anything. Again, doesn't mean passivity. Mind has to work, body has to be exercised. Otherwise, you won't get sleep. You will lose health. But what is to be done? What action has to happen? What course one has to take in life will come through personal experience, not by the ideas of the society. Sometimes this is a very confusing concept, the concept of doership. Doership is action that is taken, identified, strongly identified with an outcome. I want things to be a certain way. Therefore, I act in a certain way to bring about results that I want. But when that does not happen, I feel shame, guilt, regret. But when we do something, when an action happens spontaneously, without worrying about the outcome, it is then that the most creative work happens. And I speak from personal experience because in my younger days, I wanted to crack an exam. I wanted to pass an exam which would give me a job. And the exam was very tough. And I wasn't a good student ever. So I would keep failing at the exam. And now that I see, look back, why did I fail in that exam is because I was anxious all the time. And the cause of my anxiety was my attachment to outcome. I must be somebody. Only if I pass that exam will I be somebody. So when we are attached to the idea of how we are seen, when we have that concern, how we are seen, that is when the anxiety creeps up. And the master said there's nothing to be done other than to simply bring back yourself to this spacious presence here and now. That is it. Every time you drift off, bring it back here. That's it. This is not a practice, just remembrance. It doesn't matter where you are. You can always come back to being, to home. In that spaciousness, in that presence, doership ends. And the outcome is peace. All right. Anybody would like to ask anything, ask or share? You can raise your hand and I will unmute you. Hi, Bastian.
Hello, Jagjot. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. And I hope you had a good retreat.
Oh, yes, yes.
that you had a good experience. I'm very sorry that we could not join because of the distance, but I would actually it's something that I would love to do in the future. Um, there was a very strong sense that came in as I read the invitation. That wish is very strong in me. So perhaps sometime in the future.
Yes, yes, absolutely. In fact,
Yeah,
there will be many other opportunities in different parts of the country. Uh,
yeah.
I'm planning one in Tiruvannamalai, and I'm planning one will be in Rishikesh again, and maybe Bangalore also.
Mhm.
So let's see. But there will be, yes, they will be spaced out in a year's time. So whenever you feel like traveling and when you have the, time and resources, absolutely join.
Yeah. Well, and who knows? You might find yourself in Europe sometime, like Jay Krishnamurti traveling all over the world. Who knows?
Yes.
But I would love to. I would love to come to India. Actually, so I'll keep that invitation in my heart for now. Jagjot, you mentioned doership and nature, and I am as I'm passing through my journey, I've come across some of the works by Carl Gustav Jung,
Mhm.
where he talks about the daimon, uh, which is the impersonal spirit that for some of us lives alongside the ego, and is an expression of nature's will through through us.
Mhm.
And it is a force that desires us to do certain things because of our unique ability to do certain things in the world, in within nature,
Yes.
and that if we pay attention to these very subtle forces within us, that this is one of the ways in which yeah, we can express uh, our purpose, for lack of other word, in this world and in nature, and that was um, actually something that I recognize within myself, because it seems that my ego um, desires do not always match with what I feel is my purpose in the world. And I'm just I, uh, when I came across this uh, yeah, this notion, it actually felt very true to me, because I indeed feel sometimes called to do things that are not necessarily what I as a person desire to do. It's almost impersonal, and I was wondering if in your experience, if there is anything that you feel that resembles that.
Yes, I think that is the core of this teaching as well, where Ramesh would say that it's not you who's living your life, but life is being lived through you. So when you live with that attitude, with that
Mhm.
understanding, you don't take the burdens on of life, of things, of what you should do, should not do on your shoulders, but you just live life. You live fully alive, with
Yeah,
total understanding and total vision, and without regrets, you know without regrets, without any guilt, without any shame, because you understand that it is the impersonal energy, or like what Carl Jung would say, the unconscious force. He may put it in a different way, but
Mhm.
it's that energy is not concerned with the mind. What mind is just an instrument for it. It is way more powerful than the mind. So when something has to happen, that's why we say that things don't go according to our plan, and sometimes that's the
Yeah.
best thing that happens. you know
Yeah.
uh, if you look back on our life, we have been in situations in relationships that at that time felt, oh my God, this is something I must have, I must. But now when we look back at it, we see that, oh, thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah.
you know? Yes. But at
Yeah.
that time, it hurt. It was painful.
Yeah.
Why it was painful? Because ego was resisting and the understanding was not there. But now the understanding is there that we still can plan, and in life there's nothing stopping us from planning, but plan knowing that life may follow its own curve, and it may take its own detours, and whatever is meant to happen, then we don't carry that burden on our shoulders, to to fix ourselves, to be to be worthy, to be valuable. All those ideas begin to drop, because all those ideas are actually tied with the sense of individuality, which is in the modern culture, modern day and age, it's the individuality is so much focused on, like everything is being targeted to strengthen the individual. But this individual entity is so limited in thought, so limited in operation, and then it's easy to control that
Mm.
entity because it is limited. Of course, it's going to fail, it's going to falter, it's going to, feel, you know, uh, it's going to feel depressed because the forces of nature are too strong. So the understanding here says, if we just accept and allow the natural flow of life the way it is happening, then there will be no resistance, or there will be low resistance comparatively, and life will be relatively peaceful. And that's it. Even if you achieve that much, that is it. We
Yeah.
don't have to make life utopian, joyful. It's just always going to be a mix of pleasure, pain, pleasure, pain. It is going to be like that. And if we just accept that, that is enough. That is a
Yeah.
well lived life. But till it is me, my life, I want it certain way. We are with those strong notions. We experience pain, we experience suffering.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's not always going to be joyful. It's not always going to be as as one might envision, as you say. And I do feel that you know the there has been a lot of suffering, um, and there still continues to be suffering, but it uh, it feels different now,
Yes.
um, and it doesn't feel it doesn't um, feel it almost doesn't feel personal now, and
Yes.
the less I the less emotional resistance there is to what is happening, and what is trying to I think trying to happen, because I'm still not sure whether I'm completely letting it all happen, but I can feel that there is something there, and uh, uh, that does feel as wholeness. It feels as moving towards wholeness, and that's directing me at the moment. Yeah. So thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Yes. Scott.
Hello.
Hello, Scott. How are you?